So crypto crashed last week, but we seem to be recovering, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have a ton of questions and you're wondering why. Let's break it down today in a video pertaining to Ethereum. Now, I'm actually going to just draw this overall structure out so we get a greater understanding of the bigger picture. Essentially, what's happening here is resistance and support are both being met at the same time simultaneously. And essentially, we are enclosing on each other within this overall pattern. When this happens, price has to break out to the up or the downside. And ironically enough, we did both. Price slightly peaked above this long-term resistance over here, which stemmed from the last bull market's all-time highs back in 2021. And now Ethereum decided, okay, you know what? For all the people that are trading on margin, for all the people that are trading on leverage, just buying the breakout, I'm going to scare all of you guys out of the market. I'm going to liquidate a ton of you guys. And that's exactly what happened. A lot of people got liquidated because they were extremely excited. The euphoria phase kicked in, thinking that they would go and buy the breakout. And what happened was we scared them completely out of the market and created a whole lot of confusion. Now, I did call this in my Discord. I said price would ultimately break the trend that it created right here. Oh, no, that's the wrong trend. The trend that we created right here. Because this is a trend within a trend. As there is a whole bunch of liquidity built up sitting right below this pattern. Now, price ended up dipping right back into this larger structure. And we did so not just to capture stop losses, but to improve our profit margins to buy more ETH. So currently price is up almost 12% from these lows. And that 12%, if you were to scale this into different price targets, so let's say you're trying to hold this into all-time highs, which I believe is like 4,600, that's an extra 34%. Oh no, it's actually higher. It's an extra 37% just by dipping right back in there. So the price action, why we recovered, is a little bit difficult and tricky to really understand right off the bat, at least. But notice these wicks. Wick. Want to see something fucking crazy? They don't exist. These wicks do not exist. I've seen this happen multiple times, and this is why I call myself the king of price action. Because this is fairly obvious. Because this was way too quick of a move to catch in one go, price action had to come back and retest some of the imbalance left within all of that space right here, and ultimately trade back in it with a set of solid candles, because price cannot just wick, find support, and then move higher. We had to create the long pattern, which we can only see on line chart. So liquidity works in a wonderful way. You guys just have to know how to spot it. So you can see the head and shoulders here. If I were to switch this to line chart, left shoulder, right shoulder, head, and everything in between here is a whole bunch of liquidity built up back to the upside. So whenever the market wants to short, and we do so in such a violent fashion, which we've seen last week, you buy a whole lot of time now to push prices higher. Because if I were to switch this back into candles, not hollow candles, but regular candles, you can see now the liquidity is now facing the upside, and it's no longer in between here, because this is a solid trend, right? This is a solid trend. Yes, there is a bunch of trend line liquidity that sits within trends, but overall, when it's solid like this and doesn't look like just choppy price action, normally this means that we are going to continue to create higher highs and higher lows, as opposed to something that looks just very choppy like this. So now on Ethereum, since we are breaking above that resistance once again, I believe this is the last time you will see Ethereum here almost ever again. I'm not too sure if price will want to come and trade back into this overall structure. Doesn't seem like it. Normally these big accumulations like this, We never really dip back into the previous one. So notice how we have our accumulation right here on ETH, the last bull run. Price here never retested even a lick of that resistance, which would have turned into support into the future. We didn't retest a lick of it. So price action every single market cycle should be doing the exact same thing over and over again. This is how we create sustainable highs and sustainable higher lows. If I were to predict a price target on Ethereum from here, if price does want to continuously create higher highs and higher lows from here on out, it won't be 74,000, but it can fall within these three ranges right here, between 11,000 to 21,000 on the high end. If you guys want to draw out your Fibonacci the other way around, your first set of take profits, or at least mine, would be about 7,200. And if I were to switch this into regular and non-logarithmic scale, this seems like an extremely viable target on ETH. Just because look at how high up even 17,000 is. I'm going to mark up, what was the 618, 11,000. So just for context, that's how far 11,000 is from where we are currently. It is possible, but if we do break out of this structure, it would have to aggressively reach that price target. Like, you'd have to see a huge upswing and a huge upswing. And if this is the price target, the reason why I said price cannot come and retest back in here is because this would be over a 65% sell-off. Over a 65% sell-off. And if you guys want crypto to continue to innovate, continue to stay strong, and ultimately not have any flaws with the buying and selling of assets that are extremely volatile like this, in my humble opinion, you cannot crash 80% anymore, 90%. It's not sustainable. It really is not sustainable. And these big institutions, these big whales, even the people who own Crypto.com Arena, which is previously Staples Arena, they don't want these huge fluctuations because it cuts into their profit margins now. And ultimately, in my humble opinion, like I said, you might never see Ethereum at 3,900 again. This might be your one opportune time to buy and just let it ride out into the next bull run. I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to crypto in and of itself, but price action definitely is my strong suit. So I will say, if you guys are here for trying to just learn price action, I am your guy. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, there are a lot of other people out there that have much better insight than I do, which is why I'm keeping it so brief on the fundamental side of crypto. But overall, price action in and of itself shows very strong signs and signals that we are going to trade higher and do so with extreme force, actually. So we mentioned earlier that we bought time in between that pattern, which I can draw a little U shape in, but this is also bought time when the market crashed. So whenever the market drops significantly low and you guys just see price action harassing the living hell out of buyers and just continuously shorting, capturing sell side liquidity, you guys know that the markets are essentially buying time on whatever given time frame that you're on. So I did call out on my Discord that I believe this candle right here is just going to be a wick on the weekly time frame. There's no wick on the buy side of this candle, which means eventually this wick right here is going to turn into a bullish candle, if that makes sense. So anytime price action has the body of a candle but does not have a wick to the upside, it shows me that we are eventually going to use the flat area of that open to ultimately wick for the sell side. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I didn't just go on a huge ramble right there and it all made sense to you. But anyway, this is my personal input on Ethereum, why I'm positioning myself the way I am to go long into the future and just continuously hold. But overall, it does look good. It does look good. Hopefully, that price action did not scare you to sell your crypto. And if it did, me personally, I would buy back. I would try my hardest to go and buy back and continuously dollar cost average the larger positions. So hopefully you guys did find some value on this. I will drop my social media links down below. I do have a Patreon that I currently am accepting subscribers for. And feel free to like and subscribe on this channel for more crypto and stock and everything in between updates. Anyway, guys, take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.